In a recent interview, Congressman Paul, with a Des Moines radio station, you said you were against the operation that killed Osama Bin Laden. You said the U.S. operation that took out the terrorist responsible for killing 3,000 people on American soil, quote, showed no respect for the rule of law, international law. So to be clear, you believe international law should have constrained us from tracking down and killing the man responsible for the most brazen attack on the U.S. since Pearl Harbor?
Obviously no, and that's what I did not say that. Matter of fact, after 9/11, I voted for the authority to go after him. And my frustration was that we didn't go after him. It took us 10 years. We had him trapped at Tora Bora, and I thought we should have trapped him there. And if we have no respect for the sovereignty of another nation, that it will lead to disruption of that nation. Here we have a nation that we're bombing constantly, trying to kill people that we consider our enemies. At the same time, we're giving the government of Pakistan billions of dollars. Now there's a civil war going on. The people are mad at us, but yet the government they're getting money from us. And I think it's a deeply flawed policy. Now, if somebody has somebody in this country, say a Chinese dissident comes over here, we wouldn't endorse the idea, well, they can come over here and bomb us and do whatever. I'm just trying to suggest that respect for other nations' sovereignty, and look at the chaos in Pakistan. Sure. Now, we're at war in Pakistan, but to say that I didn't want him killed and didn't vote for the authority,
I just quoted from your radio.
I'm just suggesting that there are processes that if you can follow and you should do it, there's proper procedures rather than digging bigger holes for ourselves. That's what we have been doing in the Middle East.
GOP nominee Ron Paul would be running far to the left of President Obama on the issue of tracking down and killing terrorists who want to attack the U.S.
Well, I would say that if you do your best and you can't do anything, yes, we had the authority, we voted for it, you got it from the Congress, you do it. I just didn't think that they had gone through the process enough to actually, capture him in a different way. I mean, think about Saddam Hussein. We did that. We captured him. And we tried him. I mean, the government tried him, and he got hung. What's so terrible about this? This whole idea that you can't capture... Just a minute, Brett. Just a minute. What's this whole idea that you can't capture people?
But you voted against the war in Iraq.
Just think, Adolf Eichmann was captured. He was given a trial. What's wrong with capturing people? Why didn't we try to get some information from him? We're accustomed to asking people questions, but all of a sudden, gone, that's it. So I would say that there are different ways without trying to turn around and say, oh, for some reason, this doesn't mean he's supporting America.
Speaker Gingrich.
Bin Laden plotted deliberately bombing American embassies, bombing the USS Cole, and killing 3,100 Americans, and his only regret was he didn't kill more. Now, he's not a Chinese dissident. The analogy that Congressman Paul used was utterly irrational. A Chinese dissident who comes in here, a Chinese dissident who comes here seeking freedom is not the same as a terrorist who goes to Pakistan seeking asylum. Furthermore, when you give a country $20 billion and you learn that they have been hiding, I mean, nobody believes that bin Laden was sitting in a compound in a military city 1 mile from the National Defense University, and the Pakistanis didn't know it. Now, we're in South Carolina. South Carolina in the Revolutionary War had a young 13-year-old named Andrew Jackson. He was sabred by a British officer and wore a scar his whole life. Andrew Jackson had a pretty clear-cut idea about America's enemies. Killed them.
Congressman Paul, 30 seconds, please. 30 seconds to respond, since you were mentioned.
My point is if another country does to us what we do others, we're not going to like it very much. So I would say that maybe we ought to consider a golden rule in foreign policy. Don't do to other nations what we don't want to have them do to us. So we endlessly bomb these countries, and then we wonder why they get upset with us, and yet it continues on and on. I mean, This idea,
That's time.
this idea that we can't debate foreign policy, then all we have to do is start another war. I mean, it's warmongering. They're building up for another war against Iran, and people can't wait to get in another war. This country doesn't need another war. We need to quit the ones we're in. We need to save the money and bring our troops home.